quota for Paris. So our final contest of this African Olympic qualification event is in the 92kg plus super heavyweight division. It's between boxers from Algeria and Senegal. So there is Mourad Kadi of Algeria. Cheered on by Khadija Marji. Just listen to the ovation from the fans in attendance here for the home boxer. Making his way towards the ring. With Diarga Balde of Senegal. Really impressive so far, the 27-year-old. And he, well, how much inspiration is he going to take from the cacophonous support he's receiving from his compatriots here? Here are the 5 scoring judges presiding over this final bout of the African Olympic qualification tournament. They hail from Lithuania, Ukraine, France, Japan, and Canada. Will they be required? As these 2 big punching super heavyweights box in a bid for their first Olympic appearance. That is how Kadi has progressed through to the gold medal bout. Mohamed Frisi was outpointed on a unanimous points decision verdict by Balde, who showed tremendous composure and a wonderful left jab during the course of that semi-final win. So we're underway then. Boxers from Algeria and Senegal contesting bout number 222, the gold medal bout in the super heavyweight division, 92kg plus. And only the winner will go through Paris 2024 with that all-important quota place. The man wearing red is Mourad Kadi of Algeria. Wow. Right hook landed as the referee was trying to make herself heard in this atmospheric venue that is the Dakar Arena. There's Balde looking to walk down the shorter figure of Kadi, but Kadi looking to slow down his forward movement with the right hand to the body. Right hook upstairs, landed by Balde.
Balde's really putting some power into those uppercuts.
Kadi responded with a left uppercut, which got between the blue gloves of Balde. Nice use of the left jab from Kadi. Even though he's the shorter boxer, showing how effective that lead left hand can be. What an uppercut! And he's dipped the knees of Kadi. The referee issuing no standing count, but Kadi's knees dipped after taking that hellacious uppercut from Balde. Balde covering up as Kadi firing back to ward off his man, choosing to use offense as the best form of defense as he lands a good left hook. Right hand around the corner lands from Balde, snaking behind the left hand of Kadi. Now Kadi, after choosing to fight fire with fire, just put some distance between himself and his Senegalese opponent, because I think he's still feeling the effects of that shot as he takes another right cross which jolts his head back. Left uppercut on the inside and another right cross from Balde, who's finding the range. The mouthpiece dislodged. It's Balde's mouthpiece who was being knocked out, I think, after taking a straight shot from Kadi. My goodness, what an opening round so far.
Yeah, beautiful boxing. Beautiful boxing. Balde's doing really well there with the uppercuts have been impressive.
Well, the youngsters in attendance really enjoying the exciting spectacle that is being produced between these 2 super heavyweight boxers. And that respite coming not a moment too soon from Kadi's point of view. A boxer in condition can recover from being shaken up in just a matter of a few seconds. Kadi found those few seconds there, but Balde's back on him again. Kadi bites down, plants his feet in the canvas and tries to fire back. Long raking right cross was off the mark from Balde. 40 seconds remaining in this opening round. Kadi stealing a glance to his corner.
Beautiful first round action, this.
Nice right uppercut again, landed at short range. Left hook with a long shot landed by Balde. As the two men content to stand toe to toe, chest to chest. Another left hook loops home from Balde. So Balde's spoken about his responsibility to keep his head up. Kadi gives him a nod as if to say, how are you feeling? I'm right here. Double right uppercut with a second one was a cracking pick punch from Kadi. Right cross goes over the top from Balde. What a blistering opening round between these two powerful super heavyweights. Kadi took some enormous punches from Diarga Balde, but he showed his competitive spirit and his chin by fighting back when he appeared to be in a little bit of trouble.
It was beautiful boxing there by both men.
Some of the action from that opening round. There's the left hooks being fired in by Kadi. Both men, in fact. But then, as we warm through the round, a nice right hand to the body from Kadi. Straight shots in reply from Balde, but it was his uppercuts that were notable. There's a steam hammer of a right cross. And that dislodging of the mouthpiece just buying Kadi a little bit of time. Let's take a look at the scores. And it's a 4-1 split in favor of Kadi. Well, I think Balde's a little bit unlucky there, because I think he deserved a greater share of the opening round than the 4-1 split that has gone against him. So with that being the case, what approach will he take to the second round? And he's come out in altogether more aggressive fashion as another left hand gets through. Half hook, half uppercut. And this one may well not go the distance if either of these men continue to put this type of tremendous leverage onto their punches and find a home for them. 3-shot combination from Balde, head then body. Kadi looking to fire back. Nice defense with the right glove to ward off the left hook from the man in red.
Balde's come out firing on all cylinders, and he needed to. He needs to get back into this fight.
Oh, quickening his feet, snaking out long straight punches from both flanks. Boxing completely changed Balde's destiny. He was born into a small village and at first worked in fields. Then he went to Dakar, looked to board a boat to try and make it to Europe. But boxing decided otherwise, and since he was accepted into an academy, he's now looking to become Senegal's first Olympic boxer since Sydney 2000, and only the 7th overall in Senegal's Olympic history. Senegal is yet to have an Olympic boxer qualify for Paris 2024. So that is the type of history that Balde brings into the ring. Left hook gets behind the right glove of Kadi from Balde. Becoming a little bit untidy now, because just beyond the midpoint of the second round, these men have given and taken some big punches. There's a left hook from Balde. Right hand to the body from Balde, then a right hand over the top. The chin's being left wide open now on one of these shots. If they land, it could be curtains for the boxer who takes it.
It really could. Both men just swinging away now.
Left hook from Balde, he feeling the pace, but shoves his man off. Kadi looking to keep his front foot advance going. Jabs Balde back into his own blue corner. Balde really appears to be feeling the pace now, with just over 40 seconds remaining in this second round. Back into the breach they step once more. Kadi with an overhand right. That shot reciprocated from Balde. The foot movement of both boxers has really slowed down. It's as though they're trudging their way through treacle. Remember, these are the biggest boxers in Olympic competition, 92 kilograms plus, super heavyweights, and in this weight class more than any other, one shot can completely cancel and eradicate everything that precedes it. Balde leaning in with the head during that coming together.
Kadi's opting to hold a lot more now as well.
Well, that is how fatigued the two boxers are. Balde shouldering Kadi down to the canvas. The youngsters in attendance think that it's a knockdown, but that not a legitimate knockdown. It was the sheer force of Balde's shoulder that shoved his man to the floor. So Balde gave it everything in that second round. So too did Kadi. Their accuracy decreased, the energy level depleted the deeper we got into the stanza. Remember, the first round was taken on a 4-1 split in favor of the man in red. I thought Balde was a little bit unfortunate not to get a greater share of the first round, but to his credit, he tried to increase his work rate in the second round after conceding the first.
Yeah, he really did. He upped the work rate, but it's a very close fight. Both men scoring success in the second round.
So let's take a look at the scores. And Balde doing better. And he's evened it up because of the distribution of the scores. 3 scorecards at 19 points apiece. Judges 1, 2, and 3 have it dead level. Judges 4 and 5 have it 20 points to 18 for Kadi, which means that he only has to convince one of judges 1, 2, or 3 in order to be declared a points victor, assuming it's a 10-9 round. Whereas Balde has got to convince judges 1, 2, and 3 that he has done enough to take this final round, but the manner in which he's planting his feet into the canvas, he's suggesting that he doesn't want this one to go the distance, but as he was firing, he took a howitzer of a left hook from Kadi. And now both men just keen to hold on and gain some respite to the hard punching start that both men made to the third and final round. Left, right, off the mark, but that slapping left hook got through. A mouthpiece has come out once again. So that's the second time that Balde's mouthpiece has been dislodged. And why this is significant is that if it comes out another time, the referee would be well within our rights to issue a warning and deduct a point. Because veterans of the ring, as you know more than ever, Nicola, can use spitting the mouthpiece to buy some time. Now, Balde hasn't done that, but to ensure that it isn't used as a tactic, if the mouthpiece comes out 3 times, the referee is well within their rights to issue a point deduction for ill-fitting equipment and the fact that it could be a time-buying tactic.
Yeah, definitely. I've had opponents do that against me, spitting the gum shield out when they need a rest.
So Balde has had it punched out, but still the outcome is the same, as uppercuts being turned underneath, that final one landing on the sternum from Kadi. Both boxers incredibly fatigued here now, but remember, there's an Olympic quota place up for grabs for the victor, and that is what is spurring them on. Both men in search of their first appearance at the Olympic Games. Kadi, a bronze medalist in the super heavyweight tournament on the African continental stage in Yaoundé, Cameroon earlier this summer. Oh, that's a beautiful right uppercut from Balde. Looked to follow it up with a left hook, but was off the mark. Kadi trying to back up, but his movement looks less than convincing. Minute remaining in this final round as Balde continuing to press, but you can see the fatigue draped all over the movements of the boxers, and they just stood beyond punching range as if to say, okay, you ready? I'm ready, let's go again. But both boxers really feeling the effects of their exertions here deep into this final round. But neither man has stopped competing, neither man has stopped trying in a bid to have their hand raised as the victor and secure that precious Olympic qualification berth. But the accuracy has decreased dramatically here now. The energy levels severely depleted.
Kadi needs to be careful here that he doesn't get a point taken off for holding.
Closing seconds of the final round, and he's going to tick away in this battle between African continental bronze medalists, both men ending the contest on their feet in a bout where each man gave absolutely everything. A reminder of the context of the bout going into the third and final round. After taking the first round on a 4-1 split, Balde battled back to take a 2-judge share of the second round, and because of the distribution of the scores, it was 19 points apiece for judges 1, 2, and 3. Judges 4 and 5 had Kadi up 20 points to 18. Both men let it all hang out in the third and final round, fighting through the fatigue that had enveloped them. And remember, this man needs to convince just one of judges 1, 2, and 3 that he's done enough in the final round, whereas Balde needs to convince all 3 of judges 1, 2, and 3 to take it on on what would be a 3-2 split if he took the final round unanimously. I'm not sure it's been decisive enough for any boxer to be unanimous in the final round. Here's the verdict.
The winner on points by split decision in the red corner.
And it is Kadi, Mourad Kadi, erupting in celebration at having been declared a split decision victor over the home boxer from Senegal, Diarga Balde. A 4-1 split decision verdict going in favor of Mourad Kadi, who led 20 points to 18 for judges 4 and 5 after 2 completed rounds. The two men fought one another to an absolute standstill. And much to the delight of his compatriots and teammates up in the stands, Mourad Kadi, the African Continental bronze medalist from this year's edition in Cameroon, beats his counterpart from the 2022 edition in Mozambique, outpointing Diarga Balde on a 4-1 split decision verdict in a contest where both men gave absolutely everything.
Yeah, they really did. They left it all in the ring tonight. It just shows you how much this Olympic place means to both of the fighters. Both men were tired, both men were holding. Both men never gave up to the last bell.
Wonderful respect between the two of them, who drew the last reserves of energy from one another. Their competitive spirit that kept them in the fray, because they appeared to go beyond their physical limitations during the course of that contest. And just look at that, Balde taking the final round on a 3-2 split. But because of the distribution of the scores, 29-28 across the board. But crucially, from Kadi's perspective, he taking it for 4 of them. And that is how he has been able to emerge as a 4-1 split decision victor in a 3-round contest that was incredibly attritional.